If you ask my wife how she met me, she'll tell you, oh, when I was working in a restaurant during my university days, and one fine day, my colleague came up to me and said, hey, you know there was this guy who was singing in a karaoke competition upstairs, and he sang, and he sang, and he fainted. And the ambulance is on its way to revive him. Yes, that was me. I didn't know that I had stage fright. And as soon as I stood in front of the crowd, my heart started to pound. And I was so nervous. And it felt like I was singing on a treadmill. I couldn't breathe. And I couldn't sing. And in fact, I didn't breathe. That's why I decided to faint. And ever since then, I started to set resolution to overcome my stage fear. And today I'm very proud and very honored to be standing in front of my family, my friends, parents, teachers, and our future leaders, and speak on a TED Talk. We all set resolutions. But do you know that only 8 out of 100 people achieve their resolution? By the way, my name is Jasper, and I run a 60-year-old fast-moving consumer goods company that sells product to make people look good and feel good. We deal with ever-changing consumer minds in a very, very competitive landscape. And I have 5 kids. So my life can be quite hectic. One of the days, my daughter Caitlin called me in the middle of my very, very important meeting. So I have to pick up the call. I said, Caitlin, what happened? And she said, Daddy, you have to punish Kai and Nick. They were so naughty in the car. And they don't allow me to sit on the chair. And I was like, come on, can't you handle this small thing yourself, Caitlin? And why do you need to call me 10 times? And she said, oh, that's because you never pick up the call. So, you see, I have to also set resolution to make sure I'm mentally healthy and physically healthy in order to handle potential heart attack like this. We all set resolutions. And the most common ones are, some are wish lists, some are bucket lists. They are not really resolution, because resolution focuses on change of habit. And do you know that only 8 people out of 100 people achieve their resolution? So it is actually a 92% failure rate. Why is that so? It's because we are not mindful about what we set, or we may not have a concrete plan, or we simply don't have enough discipline to follow through, and we let our resolution die off. A resolution requires change and action, and Bruce Lee says this: willing is not enough, you have to do. And today, I'm going to share with you a 4-step strategy to resurrect your resolution. Step number 1, feedback. We have to know what we need to change. An average human have few self-deceptions. They always think they listen well. They think they are good drivers. And some think they sing very well on stage. Let me share with you this quadrant. We also operate in a fixed mindset. And to get out of what we don't know, we need to have feedback. And every year, at the end of the year, I will ask about 5 to 7 people to give me feedback on my areas to improve. And I will put that into this quadrant. Mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And feedback is not a compliment. We have to feel very uncomfortable when you get feedback. It cannot be music to your ear. You know, we Asians are very nice. When we ask for areas to improve, they will give you a list of areas of strength. They will tell you, it's okay. You are doing just fine. Don't be so hard on yourself. And it is okay to faint. Everybody faints. You'll get used to it. You get what I mean? So we want feedback to be very, very honest. Imagine if I had bad breath. Instead of people keeping quiet about it, I would want my daughter to come up to me and say, "Hey dude, I think your mouth smells like there's a rat trapped inside for many years." But you get my point. After you get feedback, you have to make them smart. And I'm sure some of you know what SMART is. It basically means specific. Your feedback, your resolution has to be very specific. And you need to quantify. You need to have numbers to be able to achieve it. And it has to be realistic. It cannot be too hard. And it has to be relevant to you. You want to lose weight because you want to be healthy, or it's because of social media pressure. And of course, you need to put deadline, because without deadline, we all know, we procrastinate. And resolution has to be stretching and also challenging. You cannot set the resolution to want to do yoga, and the only pose that you do is a Shavasana pose. Without being smart, you will still live life efficient. You will still be very busy, you will still do a lot of things, and you will feel very fulfilled because you are so hardworking doing so many things. But you may not get the result. So if you are not smart, you will be efficient, but you will not be effective. So after feedback, being smart, the next thing is to track your to-do list. This system works very well with your subconscious, because your conscious mind may be thinking, "Hey, why do I need to track so many things? Life is short. I don't want to be so stressed." But if you put that into this system, it will bypass that thought. A good resolution has to be achieved on a weekly or daily basis. You have to compound it, because you are not just completing a task, you are actually building a habit. The last one is to enhance your accountability. I use my Instagram to declare publicly during the beginning of the year on my annual resolution. And I use my monthly update to update my progress to all my followers, even though I have only 100 over followers. So one of the years, last year, I wanted to sleep more. So I used my Fitbit to track my sleeping score. So my target is 78%. And because I want to have less stress and I don't want to look at my Instagram so much, and I set my Instagram time to I limit my time to only 15 minutes. And last year I also want to lose weight. right? So I track my body fat every month. So, feedback, smart, check your to-do list, make a public declaration, and based on research. If we do all this individually, you will increase the percentage as such. But if you do them all together, the AI has calculated it to be from a 92% failure to at least 70% of success. And of course, not all resolution has to be so stressful. Some is just a change of habit. If you want to drink more water, what I do is, when I wake up, I will drink a big glass of water. And as soon as I go to the toilet, it sets as a reminder for me to drink another glass. And it goes on until my last toilet break before I sleep. Change is never our second nature, and we will face resistance. You will face resistance from your inner self and also from friends who prioritize on YOLO and FOMO. You only live once and fear of missing out. So how do we counter that? I would say, if my friends is telling me, oh, you only live once, please have more fun. I will tell them, since I only live once, I will spend 80% of my time to grow the talent seed that God has planted in me to help the unfortunate. And I will leave the 20% for fun. Fear of missing out. The best way to counter this is to focus on JOMO, joy of missing out. I will focus on the joy of what I have rather than what I don't have. And please don't think, just do. Because we human, before we command our body to take action, it goes through your brain. And sometimes you overanalyze. And since resolution is already thought through, we should just jump in and do. Don't think. And don't wait for the right mood. Because our feelings fluctuate based on your emotion and hormones. And it is not reliable. Without resolutions, we may end up life without a direction. This will create fear and future lack of confidence. So, intentional living and mindfulness are very, very crucial. Comfort kills most ambitions. We humans are capable of doing so much more. So please start young. Even at my age, I start and set resolution to improve my life every day. So this is my scorecard for 2023. Last year I set a list of resolutions to improve my mental health and my physical health. And I have basically achieved more than 80% of it. Remember, willing is not enough. We must do. Let's resurrect our resolution together. Thank you.